Coming up on this episode of The Power of Real Estate.
Have fun and don't be afraid to be silly.
So true.
Because you know who likes to laugh?
Everybody.
Everybody.
Michelle, you ready?
Does this mic make me look fat?
Of course not. Standing by in 3, 2, 1. She spent over 20 years as a successful realtor and realtor coach, recipient of over 40 sales, leadership, and literary awards from the legendary Music Row in Nashville. This is The Power of Real Estate with Michelle Moore.
Hello. All right, so we're in the studio today. I'm with producer Jimmy, and he is...
We're dancing, baby.
He's getting jiggy with it.
That's some great music. Did you choose that?
I did.
Good choice.
You know, it's funny because I don't necessarily look like I would have chosen that music, but I did. Oh, my goodness. All right, so we're in the studio today with producer Jimmy, and today is going to be we're going to turn the tables a little bit. One of the things that I think a lot of people don't know, there are so many marketing lessons that can be had in the radio genre. I used to have a radio show for about 3.5 years through iHeart, and that's how I actually met producer Jimmy. Mm-hmm. And one of the things, and I worked with 2 different producers when I was there, and one of the things that I quickly ended up realizing was that really the radio industry pretty much as a whole is all about marketing. You know, they have clients that they're running ads for and, you know, on the commercial breaks. And producer Jimmy, I ended up realizing really quick, has such a insight and knowledge base. I don't even know if you realize it, but when it comes to marketing. And so I was like, you know, a couple episodes or a few weeks ago, we had we were in the studio and I said, that idea came to me while we were doing the show. And I was like, oh, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. And so we're doing it. We're delivering. But one of the things I want to point out is that producer Jimmy has over 30 years in the radio industry. You know, I'm always talking about how old you are.
I know. It's amazing. I've only been, I was 4 years old and I was on the radio.
All right. You can lie to the listeners, but you cannot lie to me.
Can't lie to you. All right. I was 7. I'll tell the truth.
All right. So with being in the radio business for over 30 years, there are some things when it comes to marketing that's just transferable. And it is so true. And there are so many times that producer Jimmy and I have talked about things that are just so stinking true when it comes to radio or marketing in general that certainly translate to the real estate business. And so I asked producer Jimmy, he's been working with me for over 5 years now. I asked him to come up with some, deep lessons for marketing lessons. So producer Jimmy, we're going to do 3. You got 3?
Oh, yeah, I can probably come up with that.
Okay, I'm glad you prepared today.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
All right, so what is number 1, producer Jimmy, when it comes to marketing lessons?
I would say marketing lessons, it's like your message, it's kind of in the same package regardless if it's radio, TV, or a billboard. And when I tell you this, you're going to go, wow, I didn't realize that. But if you're reading a billboard, it's left to right. It's top to bottom. It's just that's how we, go in a society. That's how you read a book.
Yeah.
So a billboard will be that way, and then of course a radio spot's a little bit different. Spot being a commercial because we don't have the pictures to play off of. Mm-hmm. So we have to use what I call word economy. We have to make every word count.
Yes.
But here's kind of how you construct a commercial, and I don't care what the product or service is, but the first few seconds, you've got to get their attention. Mm-hmm. And it may not have anything to do with what you're selling at the very beginning.
So you could just say, squirrel!
Yeah. I mean, you probably wanted to have something to do with squirrel later, but you definitely need to get their attention. And then the second thing would be, why do they have to have said product or service?
Yes,
you have to
why.
You have to create a need.
Yes, the why.
And then after you get their attention and you create the need and they have to have it, the very end typically is the call to action. Or in a billboard, it might be the far right or the bottom. Mm-hmm. So what you wouldn't want to do is give out the phone number and the address of the website at the beginning of the commercial.
Sure.
Because by the time I sell you on it, you don't know where to go because you weren't listening at the beginning because it didn't,
That's right.
Didn't matter.
Sell them on it. That's so good. Yeah. So it's kind of like you got to, not, what is it? Not put the cart before the horse.
Yeah.
And so you've got to not put the cart before the horse. And I love what you said about the why. So many people miss that. It's like we're so busy talking about what it is instead of why you might need it or how it would help you or how this will make your life better, or how it will change your life, or you know what I mean, or improve your life, or you know what I mean, or save time, save money, save hassles. And so you've got to get the why in there. And that helps to also connect with emotionally. You know, the why brings out, a lot of times can bring in some of the emotion.
Yep.
And you've got to get people to connect emotionally. That is so good, Producer Jimmy. So we're talking with Producer Jimmy about marketing lessons that he has learned with his 30 years of experience in the radio industry. He's had all kinds of positions, been a station manager, does promos, he's on air talent. Like this guy has done it and still doing pretty much all of it. Is amazing with his knowledge. And so, Producer Jimmy, so we talked about marketing lesson number 1. What's marketing lesson number 2?
Pay attention, okay? Because I was at a gas station a few months ago, and I'm pumping my gas, and I'm just sitting there waiting for the gas to fill up, and I'm just paying attention to all of the messages around me. You know, there's signs on the windows of the convenience market. There's signs at the pump. There's signs, you know, just like in the parking lot.
Even on the products.
Right. It's everywhere. Marketing is so much, it's in your face. And because it is, there's so many messages, what's going to cut through the clutter? How do you get their attention? Well, when it comes to, you know, to signs, it's typically color. Or big, bold letters or something that's outlined in red. You know, you don't want to use dark colors. That's not going to draw their eye. And so that's a good thing. And then, of course.
Oh, wow. Okay. So let me just say something real quick about that. So that's really hitting home because, you know, a lot of times you see those banner signs or bandit signs on the side of the street, and they're like that orange, bright yellow. And it's like, you know, we buy ugly houses kind of stuff, but it grabs your attention. And I remember a couple of years back speaking with my coach, because great coaches also have a coach. And I was talking with my coach, and we were talking about website design and stuff. And he was saying, you know, some of the most effective websites, because that's the key word, effective, meaning gets results. He said some of the most effective websites don't even look good. You know, it's not about looking good. It's about grabbing their attention, like what you just said. Like, this is so good. So that's, postcards. A lot of times you get a postcard from somebody who's wanting to buy your house or whatever. It doesn't look good. It's not your, you know, regular colors. It's the bright orange or bright yellow, just so that way you stop and look at it because it's bright orange, like you just said.
But, you know, I would take pictures. If you see something that's like, well, you know, you got your phone, it's like, take a picture of that.
Yeah.
That's kind of neat. I'll keep that in the back of my head. Maybe I can, you know, I'm not going to say rip it off verbatim, but maybe they'll give me an idea, a thought starter for something else.
Yeah. Now, I've got a file folder. You wouldn't know this, but I've got a file folder I've had for years. I started it about 7-8 years ago, and this before we met, and it just says marketing ideas. And what's in that file folder is random stuff that I might see, I might get in the mail. I just put something in there the other day that I got in the mail. But I'll go through it every so often, or if I need to create some kind of a piece for this or that, whatever, my product table when I speak, whatever random things, but I will pull that out and look at it. Sometimes it's just the size of something. It's a weird size card that might be, you know, whatever. And so I was somewhere, and a guy, you know, there's an author that's one of my instructors, had a great marketing table, or product table, and had some marketing pieces that I really liked. So I just grabbed one of each. You know, because they were different sizes. And so, you know, I wouldn't maybe put the same kind of stuff on the card, but I liked the size of it, or I liked kind of the concept of where he was going. Mine would be completely different, but it just was what he's doing. It's just something to spur on those ideas. What a great idea. But have a marketing ideas folder.
Yeah, because, you know, you don't have to be the marketing genius, but you can get inspired by other people.
That's right. Yeah, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but also make it yours. Take it. Take a few different concepts. A lot of times that's what I'll do. Right now I'm getting ready to do a book cover. You know, I'm writing on a couple of book projects, and I went to the bookstore and took about 10 pictures of books. So, you know, but that's what we're talking about here. I just did that last week. So I implemented already last week, you know, what you're talking about. But those are things that you can do that also, it might be 10 different things that help you, but what your product, where you get to, may not look anything like what theirs looks like, because you get different ideas from everything and then come up with your own, make it yours. All right, so good. Okay, so we're here in the studio with producer Jimmy. He's talking about marketing lessons, and he's got 3 of them today. So we just covered the second one. Producer Jimmy, what's number 3?
I'm going to say have fun and don't be afraid to be silly.
Oh, so true.
Because you know who likes to laugh?
Everybody. Everybody. In fact, I have people that, will listen to the radio show and that had listened to the radio show or listened to podcasts. And they'll be like, I'll meet them in person and they'll go, girl, you are crazy.
Yeah. You're silly. It's like, yeah, but I have fun.
Yeah. And I'm the same all the time. When we were on the radio, whether it's on the podcast, whether it's in person. So, that way, and people will be disappointed if you're not. But look, so don't manufacture, but have true, genuine fun because people can tell fake, right? You got to be authentic.
Yeah. We were marketing another podcast I produce by Christy Neal, and she's a friend of yours. And usually when we take pictures with her and her guests, for social media, and then after we take the regular pose picture, I'm like, all right, silly picture. And then they'll put up the peace sign or the wave or whatever, and then I'll snap a couple of those. And it's funny because later that week or whenever she was posting, I noticed that that's all she used was the silly pictures. But what's it do? It gets your attention. It's like, wow, they're having fun. I'm gonna have to check this out.
Yeah. Yes. So good. And people love to laugh, like you said. And so, you can have some fun with it. But remember, life's too short to not have a little bit of fun. And people love people that make them laugh.
And funny and entertaining is memorable, and that's what you want.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yes, that's so good. All right. Well, we appreciate you, Producer Jimmy, every week to week. You're just always such a blessing to so many people. And hey, look, if you need some more of Michelle, go to realestatecoachingsimplified.com. You can get a free copy of my book, Selling Simplified, 55 Fast Tips to Jumpstart Your Real Estate Business, your business. You can get down to business. It's a fantastic book.
Speaking of silly.
Yeah, get down to business. And we'll see you next time right here on The Power of Real Estate.
Realtors, if you're ready for the latest tools, scripts, and techniques, visit realestatecoachingsimplified.com. We'll see you next time on The Power of Real Estate with Michelle Moore.